Welcome back to the 4 o'clock turn for 1600. And the situation has the Italians very close to getting their infantry up and off the board. The German tanks providing support, blocking support to them, and now starting to attack the British left that was looking to slow down the Italians. Meanwhile, for the British, they are looking to potentially counterattack this force before they can get too far. But again, the Italians have some force still over on the side to try to thwart that, as well as trying to hold on over here and possibly even take out some of these German tanks. In the last turn, it was quite exciting. A couple things happened over the past couple turns. One, the Italian, very good Italian Capiano was killed in an artillery attack. And then two, that British artillery that fired on them was subsequently destroyed by counter battery of the Italian artillery sitting back over here off behind the hill. So quite a bit of action going on here. Right now the focus really is over here in this sector with the German attack and the Italians trying to push forward over here. So let's see how the 1600 turn goes. So first off, the initiative, base of 4 for the German Italians, base of 3 for the British. So the German Italians get 2, that makes 6, and the British get 1, makes 4. So that's 1 first turn for the Italians and Germans. So this will be interesting. We've got a few things going on here. First off, this attack over here. Now what's interesting is if I show this, these British units in this hex are demoralized. They got hit hard with a step loss to the infantry, and the rest of them demoralized. Now the question is, do we push the tanks in and try to go for the kill on those units, seeing as they're demoralized, or do we sit back and blast at them and try to break the whole line? If we go in on them, of course the British have a good source of counterattack over here. They will have first fire on here, so because they are dug in, even though they're demoralized, they will have first fire. So that's going to give them 1 point, and then 2 more, 3 points. Captain makes 4 points. Plus his leadership bonus. So that puts him on the 5 column. So there's a good chance they could score a morale check on the German tanks, which might be a little bit too much for them at the moment. So I am thinking that really the goal here is to actually cover these. Still think they may move, they may activate, as well as well, maybe not those, but I think maybe they will activate first and look to attack that same unit, but this time just shooting at them, not actually assaulting them. I think that's what we're going to do. So those tanks are going to activate fire, and they are going to actually shoot, not assault, into there. So they are 5 plus 7 is 12. So they'll start on the 11 column. Now they are adjacent, so that's going to shift them up 2 to the 22 column. But they are dug in, so it's going to push them back to the 16 column. And I think that's all of our bonuses for that. So German tanks on the 16 column. Roll a 9, which is just a morale check. Okay. But these guys are demoralized, so they're in a pretty precarious spot. So the leader, he's a 10. No modifier. Leader's okay. So we will start with the heavy machine guns. They're at 8, demoralized 7. They pass, and they're okay. The reduced unit, they are a 7, demoralized 6. And they pass, so okay. Alright, so that fire, even though they scored a hit, it wasn't enough to put them out of action. So, British have a tough choice here. That unit is key to holding that position. And they need to somehow get them going at the same time. Keep up the attack. Alright, well, I think we will activate the artillery back here. He's outside. They need to fire. They need to fire at something. At what? I don't know. If they go with the tanks, they're only at 13. They are self-spotted, so that helps. Pushes them up to a 16. But they do need a X, which is only a 2, which is not that great. The other choice is we can load them up and get them moving forward. They will be under fire from the artillery. Everything else. I think they've got to stay there and shoot. We're going to go after infantry. Try to knock them out. This big stack down here, Capitano stack, it's going to fire at them. This leader's spotting, so that's going to give him a +1. He's a character leader with a good, with a bonus. So they'll fire, they'll move. The Bren carrier will not activate. So here we go. So it's 13, up 1 for the leader, character leader modifier. Up your tags. Roll a 10. That's actually pretty good. It's an M1, so our leader character will get a bonus. So we'll just look at these guys here. A lot of disruptions here. So the Capitano first. 7 with a +1. 8, he will be demoralized. So that's a good hit for the British. Tenente, he's a 9 with a +1 on the dice. He demoralizes. The heavy machine gun, they're a 7 with a +1. Okay. Truck is a 7 with a +1. He demoralizes. The other truck, 7 +1. And he's okay. So an effective barrage on those units demoralizes them. Now the leader, the leader here, he's a 7, demoralized 6, needs a 5. Does not get it. So he's still out of action. Alright, that's their first activation. Back over to the Italians. Alrighty. Not much we can do with these guys. Alright, we'll go after their mortars with the artillery here. Spotted by him. So, oh, forgot to give the character leader a point for the morale. So let me give that to Lieutenant Wright. And this character leader will spot the mortars for them. So they're going to be 22, which will be on the 21. There's no other modifiers. Let's see how they do. 5. Yeah, morale check. So we've got a captain in there, I believe. Yep, and the mortars. Captain is a 9. He's okay. Mortars are 8s. Top one. Okay. Bottom one. He's okay. Oh, you know what? I should have shifted up one more because those were mortars on there. But wouldn't have made any difference. They were still be a yeah, it would have been an M1, but I don't think that would have been any problem. Oh well, dice have been rolled. So over to British again. Over to the British again. I've got a little bit of a crossfire here. It's blocking them. I'm more to the tanks. 16, yeah, it's just 2. Alright, I think the mortars need to go against this hex here. So these mortars here. Captain will not be activating, just self-activation, firing. Leader over here will spot, give them a +1. So it's going to be a 16, shifted to the 21. Rolls a 7, that's a miss. It's a miss. Okay. Over to the Italians again, and Germans. We've done their long range damage. I think we've got to 22, 16. Tanks are going to move, activate to move. Moving up there. They could fire 12. It's a 2 or 12 to hit, so better use going after the infantry. So that's it. Third turn for the British. Well, I think they've got to make their move now. Over here, Colonel is going to activate to move. Activate them in front to move. Activate the leader over here. Move as well. The rest of the units are sitting still. So, we're going to try for some recoveries. The captain didn't activate, just the units. They're going to try to recover on their own. So, demoralized heavy machine gun. They're 8. Demoralized 7. Needs a 6 recover. Ooh, I get it. So they're just disrupted. Demoralized unit. They're 7. Or excuse me, yeah. Demoralized infantry. They're a 7. Demoralized 6. They need a 5. Ooh, they get it. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's good. The captain did not activate. So now the other unit here, the other lieutenant is going to move over in with them. I don't think there's going to be any opportunity to fire. He could. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Okay, now Lieutenant Colonel, he's the one who activated. He's just going to stay put. I think you just get that on there and that'll do it, because they're in decent shape. Flag of war. Not quite. Okay, next. Going back to the Italians. They've got to start some recoveries here. I think. Yeah. Let's try to recover. Yeah, these demoralized guys here. So we've got the captain. He's 7. Demoralized 6. Needs a 5. Doesn't get it. He doesn't have to move. Lieutenant A. 9. Demoralized 8. Needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Disrupted. Heavy machine gun. 7. Needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Demoralized truck. 7. Demoralized 6. Needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Yeah, they're tough to get. Once they get broken, they're tough to get back in shape. Alright. Flag of war, nothing. Back over to the British. I think the captain's going to activate. Move into here. They could fire at him. That would be 13 moving, dug in. Is it 10? No. I don't think it's worth it. At the moment. Don't think it's worth it. Yeah, we'll let him go. So he is moved. Okay, flag of war. No. Italians. I think we'll continue with our rallies. Tenente is going to try to activate his stack plus the demoralized units to recover. With his stack, he's got a full strength disrupted. So he's 7. Tenente helps him 8. He's 7 away. So he's back in good shape. And then the Tenente gets another point. That's good. He needs it. He needs it. So he's down to -1. And now the demoralized unit behind him, there's 7. Demoralized 6, needs a 5. Does not get it. Tenente may be getting more points as time goes on here. So, no, not quite. Over to the British. Over to the British. Over to the British. Fire, they fired. He's over there. Ones. I could do 9, 13. Uphill, long range. No, it's not. It's not worth it. They'll probably move anyway, so we'll leave them alone. So I think the leader is going to activate over here. Going to activate the reduced unit. Move 1, 2 into there. No fog. Next, back to the Italians. I think the Major is going to activate to try to recover the rest of these guys. So, they're both disrupted, so they will be 7s. Major can help them 8, so we need 7 to recover. Doesn't get it for the heavy machine gun. How about the truck? Truck gets it. So, there. Okay. No fog. Back to the British. Not much has changed, so they're just going to pass, I believe. No fog. Back to the Italians. Alright, I think we're going to have to recover up here. This hex here, they have a number of units. They're in good shape. They're loaded. Okay. So the trucks, they're up here. Trucks and the loaded heavy machine gun won't do anything, but these guys will try to recover. So the infantry, 7 needs a 6. Doesn't get it. And the truck with the tank gun needs a 6. They get it. Okay. Fog over. Nothing. Alright, back to the British. Again, nothing's changed, so they'll just pass. No fog of war. Over to the Germans and Italians. They've kind of cleared that a little bit, so he's can't move there yet. So he's actually, oh, he could have moved last turn because he wasn't able to fire on him. Oh well. Motorcycle units up here, and leader will activate. Move. He cannot activate. So I think the leader will come into here for 1. Jump on his motorcycle. And I'll move 2, 4, 2, 4. 8. Oh, they both could fire. That'd be 12, 13. Yeah, no, we'll stay right there, I think. Okay, plug away. Back to the British. These two could combine. 12, 13, uphill. Oh, great. Range and uphill. Yeah, no, that's not good. Moving would be a little bit tricky because they would get a +1. Well, I think this leader and the unit with him, activate to move. Activate this unit beside him here as well to move. Right, let's see how we do with this. 1 to there. And that's going to trigger. It's going to trigger a shot over here. So that'll be 5 on the 4 column. Shift 1 for movement to the 7 column. It's a miss. Okay. And then 2 to there. That'll trigger the second firing. Same thing. 7 column. Oh, there's a hit. Ouch. Ouch. That's a step loss. And morale check. Okay. Step loss and morale check. Okay. So, 1 more step loss for the British. Let me see here. Yeah. Let's see anything else that he can help with. So, morale check. He is 9 with a +2. Leader, Lieutenant Wright is okay. He's got a bonus, he can help. So they are 7 now. +1 is 8. There's a +2 on the board. They're okay. Alright, but now we got to do a leader check. So he is a 2, needs a 2, with a -1 to the dice. And actually he's got survival skills, so it's actually a +1. So I have just a 2. Yeah, he survives. No problem. Alright, but that hurts a little bit because now the machine gun's down to a 4. Alright, then I said this unit he's going to go 1. And these guys are going to take a shot at him. It's going to be long range moving, so it's just going to be in the 7 column with their guns. 9. 9 is a miss. And then he's going to go 2. He could fire a second shot. He's done. There's nothing over there that can get him. It's going to hold fire here for a moment. So he's 2. He's going to go 3 onto the hill. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can still shoot. He's going to make his last shot. Moving long range uphill. So he's 7, but goes down for 1 to 4. 10. That's a hit. It's a morale check. It's an 8. He's good. Okay. That's all for the British. Log of war. Okay. Italian, Germans. Well, they're going to target them with a mortar, I think. Yeah. So that'll be 8. This leader is going to be spotting on the 8 column. No ships. That was a 5 on the 8 column. That's just a miss. Flag of war. Back to the British. I think they're going to pass. Okay. Italians. They've got 1 unit to recover over here. They'll activate this to recover. He's a 7, needs a 6. And doesn't get it. British passing. And I think the Italians will have to pass as well. So that's the end of the 1600, 4 p.m. turn. A little bit of action. A bit more movement by the Italians and the positions behind. The British starting some sort of counterattack against those positions as well. The Italian main force is still rather stuck with their leaders being in tough shape, and the German tanks have now started a little bit more of the assault on the British positions. And British are trying to recover. So far they've done pretty good, but they're still in a tough position. All right, let's go on to 14:15, 4:15 p.m. Roll for initiative. So that gets the German Italians 4 plus 3 is 7. British 3 plus 2 is 5. So it's going to be the first turn for the German and Italian again. All right. I think now comes the big attack by the Germans. Try to break their lines. So tanks are going to fire. And the first one is going to be the 4Es going after the stack right here. That's going to be 22, 11 plus 11, 22. They're adjacent, so they're going to go up at 2 to the 45. But then they're dug in, so they're back down to the 30 column. So we will get some sort of result on them. Question is, is it enough to damage them? So it's an 8, which is just a M1. Well, it's an M1. That's pretty good to potentially damage them. They're already disrupted. We do have our character lieutenant, who does have a pretty decent morale. So it's M1. He's an 8 plus 1. Oh, 11, 8. Oh, he demoralizes. Oh, that's not good. He cannot help now. So they're going to have to take it as is. So the heavy machine gun, they're an 8 with a plus 1. 9. So they demoralize. Oh. And then the infantry, they're a 7 plus 1. And they demoralize. Uh-oh, that's not good. Because here come the other German tanks. Yep, here they come. So the other tanks are going to drive right in to overrun them. Alright, let me see if I can get position with this in place so you can see it. Well, I'm going to put the card over here, and actually I'll just take this one. These are my assault cards, useful for holding all the units that are about to be assaulted and spreading out the units so that we can see them. So we'll move the tanks up here. That's number 3. There we go. Okay, so they move in for the assault. This is going to get interesting. So first off, the units in there, because they're dug in, they'll get first fire. So their strengths are going to be 1, 2, which makes 3, and there's nothing because he's demoralized. Okay, so they're going to have a attack factor of 3 over here on the 3 column. So they'll get to fire first. There'll be no modifiers for them because the leader and their morale is all less. So let's see what happens. Roll an 8. That's a miss. So they missed. So now the tanks get their shot. So they are 5 plus 7 is 12. So they'll be in the 12 column. Their morale is better than the British at the moment, because British lost a morale point for all being demoralized. So they'll go up to the 13. And then the units are all demoralized, so they'll go up to the 18 column. Oh, that's a big hit. 18 column is a 1-step loss. Okay, so I think they'll take that on the second step loss on the 1-step unit, because they're all the same morale, so it doesn't really matter. So they'll get the loss there. Now they've got to do morale checks 2. So the demoralized leader, he's a 8-7 with a +2. Survives that. The unit is a 8-7 with a +2. 11. Yeah, he takes a step loss as well. So there's another step loss against the British. Okay, it's not good. The leader, we've got to do a leader check here to see if he's lost. Now he's a character leader, right? Yes, he is. 13. Who is that? That is Brown, Lieutenant Brown, and he doesn't have anything to help. Okay. So 2 with a -1. Now that second step loss does not count for the leader loss check because that was lost because of morale, not because of fire. So 5 -1 is 4. He is okay. Alright, so the German tanks do the damage, and I'm afraid that hex may be lost unless the British can come up with something here. Which means it's now the British turn. So now what do? They try to save the hex. They can go in there. We do have units around them that could go in there. Lieutenant Colonel could push in the infantry. This infantry could go in there. Tie them up. That's going to really suck down a lot of activity. Well, I think they've got to do it. So, Lieutenant Colonel is going to activate these units behind him to move, these units to attack, the captain and his units to attack as well. So first off, let's do the attacking. They're going to pile into here to try to go after the tank, get some points, like that. These guys are still moving. Alright, so obviously the demoralized folks are not doing anything. They will not help, but they will get to attack. Now, because this is already an assault in progress, there's no first fire for the tanks. So this is where the British can hopefully work it out. So they're attacking. 2 infantry is 8. Leader makes leaders plus 1 makes 9. So they start in the 9 column. That's good. Morale is equal, but they do have a leader, so that goes up to the 13 column. Let's see what they can do. 7. Miss. The only thing they can do is miss. Tanks are now 12. 5 plus 7, 12. No better morale, no demoralized, so they're just on the 12. 9. They get a morale check on them. So the British have to morale check. The captain is 10. That's good. The units are 18. First one, good. Second one is also good. All right. So they can test the hex. They are not dug in, but at least they're supporting the infantry that is dug in and demoralized. Back to the Italians. Now this is opened up. Oh, excuse me, not quite back to the Italians. Still got the movement over here. He's going to move out of his hex, in with the lieutenant colonel, and stop there. Now it's over to the Italians. Now this opens up some interesting opportunities for the Italians. Italians still got the artillery. Yeah, let's take the artillery. It's going to go after the mortars. They're more the danger at the moment with him, going against him. Spotted by him. So it's going to be 22 on the 22 column, which would be 21 column, I should say. And it stays there. Mortars, put it up to 30. Ooh, 11. It's another kill. They got the range on the mortars. So one of the mortars is gone. It's another point. Rest of them, morale check 2. Captain, plus 2 on the dice. He's disrupted. Mortars are 8, plus 2 on the dice. They're okay. Do need to do a leader loss. 2 or 3 will lose him. He's okay. But that's a big strike for the Italians. This guy gets a couple points for directing fire. Yeah, he gets a point. Alright, so here he is. Gets him at least back to where he should be. Down here a little bit so you can see it. Okay, gets him back a little bit to where he should be. Next is going to be back to the British. British now taking some losses and need to figure out what they're going to do. I think they're good 25 pounder, and the demoralized guy up here will activate. Go for that leader that just spotted it, spotted by him. So that'll give a +1. So that's going to be 13 with a +1 column shift. So we'll start out on the 12, go to the 16, 8. That's a miss. Okay, and the leader that's demoralized, he's a 7. Goes down to a 6, needs a 5. Oh, he finally gets his wits about him. Alright, back to the Italians. They need to rally people, I think. I think we need to do this stack right here. Here we go. So the captain, he is a 7, more like 6, needs a 5. Okay, he's back. The Tenente is a 9, 8, needs a 7. And he's disrupted. The heavy machine gun, 7, needs a 6. Doesn't get it. And last one is the truck. He's a 7, demoralized 6, needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Well, leadership is coming back, at least. I think we'll have enough time to get them off. I'm not sure. But we'll keep them going. So that's all for them. British. I think the mortars have to go for him. So this time it's the leader's going to activate the mortars to fire, activate himself to recover. So we'll do the mortars first. So self-spotting. That's it. So 8 goes up to the 12. Oh, that's a hit. M2. That's a good hit. M2. So he is an 8 plus 2. Oh, it's demoralized. Well, that wiped out all his good leadership right there. So he loses 3 leadership points. And the unit underneath him is 7 with a plus 2. Demoralized. And the truck, 7 plus 2. Thoroughly demoralized. That was a big hit for the British. And now the recovery by the leader. He is a 9, needs an 8. He gets it. So despite taking that devastating hit, knocked out half the mortars, they're still able to come back and inflict some damage on the Italians. Fog of war. No fog. Alright, back to the Italians. Well, I think we've got to try to get them going. So this whole stack and everything that were just demoralized. The leader, he's an 8, down to 7, needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Now, he is within range, so he's got to fall back. Gonna go back into here. Let's see about the other guys. The infantry, 7, 6, needs a 5. Doesn't get it. He'll go with him. And the truck, 7, 6, needs a 5. Truck doesn't get it either. So everybody winds up in here. Ew. Well, the Italian Philippines have have not been well. Let me re-roll that last one that was on the edge. Yeah, okay, no fog of war. British. Alright, can activate all these units. Fire, move, move. It's going to go in and assault. So bring out. Bring this out here for the moment. I may need to move it later. So he's assaulting uphill, which is not good, but I need to try to get something. So he's going to be on a 4. He does have better morale, which puts him to the 5. But he's going uphill, which is going to be -1, back to the 4. So 6 is a miss. Now the Italians are a 5. That's it. Italians roll. Oh, ouch. Step loss. Yeah. I got him. So that's another loss on there. So let's see. That's going to be M2 on them. 7 plus 2. Oh, demoralized. Oh, that was hideous. Hideous. Okay, so that's number 4 right on the hill. Okay, move that out of the way for a moment. These guys are going to move over, and so are they. Starting some sort of counterattack, but it's not looking good. Okay. Fog of war.